And we're now getting some breaking news. Air India flight scare at Kochi airport. Delhi-bound Air India flight aborts takeoff in Kochi. Congress party's Hibby Eden on board the flight claims big scare. The Congress MP says that pilot said vibration in engine. So big breaking news that's coming in right now that Air India flight scare at the Kochi airport is being reported. Delhi-bound Air India flight aborted the takeoff in Kochi, and Congress MP Hibby Eden was also on board the flight and has claimed a big scare. In fact, the Congress MP has also claimed that the pilot said vibration in the engine.
Exactly, just before the takeoff, there was a sudden break, like when you travel in a car on a monsoon road, on a very skiddy road. How it happens exactly the same way. When the brakes were on, a sudden break, right. And I felt like the flight was just moving away from the runway. It just went off on a skid. And then suddenly the flight stopped, and then it slowly began for the taxiing. And they said it's like a normal thing, they said. Okay. And then they said that there is a vibration from the engine. The captain said there is a vibration, we have to check. Then he came personally and said that we need 20 minutes to check. And if it is rectified, then we'll take off. Otherwise, we'll disembark. After 20-25 minutes, they said we are disembarking, and they said that 1 o'clock there is another flight, service flight, which would you would be transferred into that. Okay. That's what happened. Okay. But unfortunately, there are no people. We are at the launch, reserved launch. Okay. There are no staff from the Air India willing to come and talk to us. I asked for the duty manager. He's not coming. A lady who is in the departure came and spoke. She has no idea when the flight has like an issue like this. So it's quite unfortunate that nobody is even responding properly of what exactly happened. We just wanted to know what happened, what went wrong.
So it was like a regular plane ride. Everybody boarded the plane on time, and we hit the runway. The plane gathered momentum. We were just about to take off, and the plane came to an abrupt halt. So much so that it felt like it was sort of skidding on the runway because it was raining in Kochi. And there was a bit of panic in the plane because of the recent crash with Air India. And the pilot conveyed that he heard some vibration during the takeoff, and he had to abort the takeoff and take the plane back to the bay to get it checked. So then we went back to the bay. We were in the plane for about an hour or more, and they conveyed it to us that the plane can't be repaired tonight. Luckily, there was another plane available, so we had to go through the entire drill of security check again. And finally, we took off at about 2:30 a.m.
And my colleague Amit Bhardwaj is now joining us on this story with more details. Amit, how has Air India reacted to this incident?
Well, Anjali, what the passengers, including the Congress MP Hibby Eden, is claiming and saying right now, that actually explains the experience, what the passengers must have gone through. What exactly has happened, we need to decode this further, is that it was during the takeoff roll, which means that the craft was already preparing for the takeoff. The roll had started. That's when the crew, experienced or suspected some technical issue, because of which the takeoff was aborted, which means that, the experience that these passengers, including Congress MP Hibby Eden, is sharing with us is the exact experience you would have when the takeoff roll is happening and the takeoff is aborted. After this, Air India is saying that once the crew suspected there was some technical issue, the cockpit crew decided to discontinue the takeoff run. And after this, there's a set SOP in place, because of which the craft was taken back to the bay for checks. And, there was an alternative aircraft which was immediately arranged so that the passengers, the flight could continue. So that's what Air India is saying, and it is saying that whatever action was taken by the crew and the operator, it was keeping in mind the safety of the passengers as the top priority. So the version that the passengers are saying, the experience that they have gone through, it's because of the fact that the takeoff was actually aborted when the takeoff roll was
All right.
happening, and that's what the experience of passengers on board would be possibly. Back to you.
All right, Amit, thank you for getting us those details and for that context.